Every story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good evening and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Omotayo Alo. In our major stories tonight, Nigeria Labour Congress squares up with Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission over increase in electricity tariff. Also in this program, more Nigerians react positively to the 2016 budget presentation by President Muhammad Buhari and expect holistic delivery of budget provisions. No respite for the leader of the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra in Nnamdi Kanu, as judge withdraws from hearing his case. On the foreign scene, in Somalia, government bans Christmas and New Year celebrations over fear of terrorist attacks. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now the news in full. The Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has threatened mass action in response to the new electricity tariff system recently announced by the National Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC. Addressing journalists at the end of an emergency meeting of its Central Working Committee, NLC President Ayuba Wava described the increments as exploitative. Correspondent Basi Aye reports that no date has been fixed for the intended mass rally.
Few days after the nation's electricity regulatory body, NEC, disclosed its decision to increase the tariff for electricity consumption, organized labor has made known its position. Speaking on behalf of Nigeria's working class, NLC tackled the main actors in the power sector on what they described as an unproductive privatization drive. In their view, the inadequacies of the exercise has brought untold hardship on Nigerians, making the introduction of a new tariff regime unpalatable.
This is our position, and this is where we stand. And if those decisions are actually taken contrary to our position, you also know what NLC stands for and what we'll do. This is not the first time we have made such pronouncement, and where also actions have been taken contrary to our pronouncement, and we have actually come back, even from the comfort of the break, the Christmas break, to also review the issue and also take appropriate action. So I want to assure you that for now, this is the decision we have taken. It is the decision that the Central Working Committee thought that in the present circumstance and looking at the issue and the substance of the issue, this will be in the best interest of Nigerians and in the best interest of Nigerian workers.
Fuel subsidy and exchange rate were also addressed. Organized labor is of the opinion that Nigerians should not bear the burden of the possible outcome of government's decisions.
What we are even demanding for, which is very clear, that we should also benefit from the issue of falling price of crude oil internationally. Because it is expected that if the price is coming down, we should also benefit from it. You should also benefit from the ordinary Nigerians. But I think these have been compounded, which all of us have analyzed, compounded with the fact that we are an import-dependent nation. We are, because also of the issue of the exchange rate, on daily basis there will be need to actually get foreign currency to import products. And these have actually resulted in what we are now discussing about price increase. And our position has remained consistent. Why must we continue to import and have the regime of subsidy in place? Our position is that we must think out of the box, as done by other countries, other OPEC countries.
For now, No date has been given for the proposed mass action, but public analysts insist that the decision and subsequent exercise will lighten the foreseen hardship on Nigeria's working class. Basiaye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The relationship between the Osun state government and doctors in the state is becoming increasingly frosty. This time around, the government has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the doctors to either call off the over 2-month strike or face the penalty of voluntary resignation. More so, President Association of Resident Doctors, Ladoke Akintola University of Technology Teaching Hospital in Oshogbo, Adeyinka Ajayi, President said that the government should withdraw its decision and call the body to the negotiating table to resolve all the demands of the union.
It's been 2 months now since September 28, 2015. Resident doctors, as well as the Osun State Association of Medical Doctors of the state-owned hospitals across the state, have been on strike, leading to a near standstill of activities within the hospital premises and leaving many patients to seek for health care from private hospitals. The doctors, amongst other demands, say the tax imposed on their take-home pay is exorbitant, just as they decry the situation where the claimed government is withholding a significant percentage of their salaries without any formal or informal negotiations with the body.
The state government has continued to ignore the federal government-approved adjusted commerce and relativity payments to our doctors in the hospital, despite implementing the federal government tax for this salary scale in full. This action of the government is totally against the provision of the edict establishing our dear teaching hospital. This, again, is a clear case of double standard and selective abstraction. Our members have not had access to payslips in the last 1 year, a development that is not just worrisome, but sickening. The last payslip gotten was in November and December 2014, which were actually in sharp contrast to our take-home.
Perhaps what is most worrisome is the 7-day ultimatum given by the state government that the doctors across the state resume or be assumed to have resigned voluntarily. To this, the doctors say they have made several peace moves, even as the call on governments to pave way for open negotiations with the body concerned and find ways to resolve the lingering crisis gradually crippling the health sector of the state.
The NMA wish to repeat again that we fully support the actions of the doctors because they are only asking for their legitimate dues. We will appeal to Osun State government to return to the negotiating table with the affected doctors. The state government should exercise restraint and reconsider this hard position to sack the doctors in the interest of the good people of the state who could not access health care since the beginning of this avoidable crisis. What anybody should expect from the state government during this Christmas and festive season is glad tidings and not sack letters.
However, the director of media to the Osun State government, Semi Okonlawo, in all this believes the impasse can still be resolved when all parties come together.
I'm very confident that good reasoning will still prevail over this particular matter. The government has stated its position. The doctors too have also stated their positions. But I want to believe that we're going to arrive at a middle of the road solution that will ensure stability of the system. I believe that the doctors are also going to review their own positions, and at the end of the day, there will be peace.
The ultimatum issued to the doctors is just 2 days away, and if the words of the director of media is anything to go by, then the age-long crisis is gradually coming to an end to save the state's health sector from collapse.
The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has charged President Muhammad Buhari to engage experienced and capable hands in running the nation's economy and budgeting processes. In a statement by its Publicity Secretary Olisa Metu, The PDP says the task of resuscitating the nation's economy is not only for the president or the ruling All Progressives Congress, but the responsibility of all Nigerians. The party therefore called on the president to employ experienced and well-tested hands, emphasizing that due care should be taken to save Nigeria and Nigerians from harsh economic times. The Police Service Commission Committee on Public Complaint and Police Conduct has commenced an investigation into alleged stealing and diversion of 1.8 million naira by policemen attached to the Federal Capital Territory Police Command. Spokesman, Police Service Commission Ikechukwu Ani, on Wednesday said the PSC committee, headed by retired Supreme Court Justice Olufunlola Adekeye, was looking into the allegations against the police team led by Vincent AJ, Superintendent of Police. He added that the committee was also investigating 5 complaints against other police officers, noting that the PSC would henceforth treat with utmost seriousness cases from the public and even the police and personnel misconduct. The arraignment of pro-Biafra activists Nnamdi Kanu and 2 others at the Federal High Court in Abuja has suffered a setback after the trial judge opted out of the case. This followed the objection of Kanu to fresh charges filed by the Department of State Service after another court had ordered his release on bail. After listening to both counsel on the objection, Justice Ahmed Mohammed held that the accused persons have a right to object to the trial and consequently pulled out. Judiciary correspondent tells us more of that report later. Meanwhile, we'll go on a quick break now, and when we come, we'll bring you more stories. Stay with us.
Whenever you recharge your Airtel line, you could win a trip to Dubai for yourself and your family members or closest pals. Win one of 60 trips for 4 to Dubai in the Airtel Red Hot promo. Now that's a trip for 240 people. You could also be one of the 60 instant millionaires. Win smartphones and airtime. Everyone is a winner. Keep recharging to win in the Airtel Red Hot promo with Emirates Holidays.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to her husband that you should keep promise about what you said. And because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Because some people will strong for Yoruba land, will be strong man, we don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, treasure looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to this recruit, I say to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we'll bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria,
where you are the judge.
Welcome. If you're just joining us, it's CoreTV Primetime News. Here is a quick reminder of our top stories. We told you earlier that the Nigerian Labour Congress has kicked against the increase in electricity tariff by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. And that more Nigerians have reacted positively to the 2016 budget presentation by President Muhammad Buhari and expect an holistic delivery of budget provisions. No respite for the leader of the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, as judge withdraws hearing from his case. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode on Wednesday has advocated the need for acknowledgement of the gallant and bravery effort of officers and men of the Nigerian Armed Forces, both in protecting the territorial integrity of the nation and keeping the country united. Governor Ambode, who spoke at the Lagos House Marina while launching the 2016 Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem, appeal also emphasized the need for all citizens to appreciate the gallant fallen heroes through donations for the welfare and upkeep of the families they left behind, especially their widows and children. According to the governor, such acknowledgement was needed not just in the spirit of showing appreciation for what has been done in the past, but also to assure those that are still in active service that their efforts and sacrifices would not be in vain. The governor said that the appreciation was imperative, particularly at this period that the nation is faced with challenges of terrorism and insurgency in parts of the country. Meanwhile, Chairman of Lagos State Branch of Nigerian Legion, Colonel Samuel Akombi, retired, appreciated Governor Ambode's effort in rapidly transforming the state, while urging the state government to look into the plight of members of the Legion for security plans. Inspector General of Police Solomon Arashi says professional investigation will commence into the clash between the Nigerian Army and the Shiite Islamic group in Zaria, Kaduna State. Force spokesperson and acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Olabisi Kolawole stated that RG Arashi gave the promise when a delegation of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, led by its Secretary General Ishaq Oloyede, visited him. Arashi further appealed to the Islamic body to use its platform to caution all groups in the country against encroaching on other citizens' rights and reminded them that while they have the constitutional right to express their views, it should not hamper the rights of others. The police anti-crime control patrol team attached to Ogbere Division of Ogun State Police Command engaged some armed robbers who were operating at Ajede area near G3 along Ijebu-Ode Benin Expressway and left one of the armed robbers dead while others fled the area with bullet wounds. After operation, the commuters were all rescued unhurt and their belongings were intact. When a search was conducted on the dead robber, a cutlass, 5 live cartridges and assorted charms were recovered from him. It will be recalled that Inspector General of Police Solomon Arashi recently launched Operation Safer Highway with the distribution of more than 600 patrol vans and logistics to all commands and formations of the police for adequate protection of lives and property of road users all over the country, and the Commissioner of Ogun State, Abdul Majid Ali, has followed suit. As Christmas celebration draws closer, travelers have expressed dissatisfaction over the economic situation in the country, which they say have affected their plans for the festive season. Our correspondent Kazim Kasari visited some motor parks in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and found in this report.
This is the Peace Park, which is one of the major parks in the FCT. This is one park that people from the southeastern part of the country patronize in large numbers. As usual, the passengers are here for the yearly mass movement to the east, but it's not business as usual for this passenger, who is unhappy with the hike in transport fares, which he says will cost him twice as much to get his family to the village.
It's unfortunate. Look at how everybody is suffering. Again, nobody anticipated this, but most especially this festive period. The whole the price of transportation, everything has gone high because of the fuel scarcity of fuel in the country. It's a pity. Okay, can you imagine from here to Owerri 6,800, something that is below 4,000 naira before.
For these other travelers, the government needs to do
this, but most especially this festive period. The whole price of transportation, everything has gone high because of the fuel, scarcity of fuel in the country. It's a pity. Okay, can you imagine from here to Owerri 6,800, something that is below 4,000 naira before.
For these other travelers, the government needs to do something fast to address the ugly situation, especially as it affects fuel price.
They should help us reduce the fuel cost. Maybe it's because of that, or they should give us more fuel than before.
In Nigeria, too hard now. Nothing. We don't get anything now. We just they manage, they go. Now no one maybe come on for Abuja go greet our people for village.
But for these operators and a driver who spoke in Yoruba, it is all a consequence of their inability to address logistics issues in an affordable manner.
There's no fuel in the country. And, as we normally do, we move our vehicles on empty arrangements from east down to Abuja here, so as to meet up the high demand of passengers who want to travel down to their various places. So the issue of fuel is what I know is affecting everybody.
Yes, the passenger line is that we have a scarcity of fuel, and it makes passengers don't to come out as last year, the way they come out in a multiple way.
Just as the operators and passengers seemed for once to agree on an issue, the ball is in the court of the appropriate authorities to do something fast to end the suffering of Nigerians. Kazim Kasali, CoreTV News, Abuja.
On the update of Nnamdi Kanu's case, the arraignment of the pro-Biafra activist and two others at the Federal High Court in Abuja has suffered a setback after the trial judge opted out of the case. This followed the objection of Kanu to fresh charges filed by the Department of State Service after another court had ordered his release on bail. After listening to both counsel on the objection, Justice Ahmed Mohammed held that the accused persons have the right to object to their trial and consequently pulled out. Judiciary correspondent Basilo Kafo has more in this report presented from our studio.
Nnamdi Kanu is again in court, this time along with two others, Benjamin Madubugu and David Nwambisi, to were brought to court by heavily armed security personnel on fresh charges of treason and possession of firearms filed against them by the Department of State Service. This was after a Federal High Court in Abuja ordered the authorities to release them on bail. When the case was called, the pro-Biafra activist pleaded to speak and was given the opportunity. He refused to take the plea on the grounds that he will not get fair trial at the court, insisting that DSS had not complied with previous court orders in his favor. Prosecution counsel Mohammed Diri, however, opposed the objection and urged the court to compel Kanu and others to take their plea, but defense counsel Vincent Obeta informed the court that the accused has a fundamental right to object to the trial and pleaded with the court to grant his request.
The matter was slated for arraignment of the three accused persons, including Nnamdi Kanu. But when we're still at the preliminary stage, the first accused person, that's Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, raised an objection to the fact that he does not have confidence in the judge that is sitting today, and that he wouldn't want the court to try the matter because he has information pointing to the fact that he will not be given fair trial in the courts.
In his ruling, Justice Ahmed Mohammed agreed with the accused person that he has the right to object to his trial before his court. He therefore ordered the case file to be returned to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court so that it can be reassigned to another judge and for further action.
And also in Lagos, the Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has called on Muslims in the nation to offer special prayers for greater peace, unity and continuous progress of Nigeria as they join their counterparts across the world to celebrate Eid al-Maulud, which is the birth of Prophet Muhammad. Chief Press Secretary to Lagos State Governor Habib Aruna disclosed that the governor enjoined Muslims to follow the exemplary leadership of the Holy Prophet by promoting peaceful coexistence among the various segments of the society. Governor Ambode also urged Muslims to internalize the virtues of honesty, selflessness, charity, tolerance, good neighborliness, justice, equity, and fairness, which Prophet Muhammad preached, saying such will go a long way to engender national development. We'll take another break, and when we come back, we bring you more stories. Stay with us.
Whenever you recharge your Airtel line, you could win a trip to Dubai for yourself and your family members or closest pals. Win one of 60 trips for 4 to Dubai in the Airtel Red Hot promo. Now that's a trip for 240 people. You could also be one of the 60 instant millionaires. Win smartphones and airtime. Everyone is a winner. Keep recharging to win in the Airtel Red Hot promo with Emirates Holidays.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live. And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days. To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
The man on the streets have come to realize that the power to make decisions lies in the hands of the people. I don't think there is.
5 local government out of the 30 local government is more than many states in the north. The economy is booming. Where is the economy booming?
Blast in Abuja.
Don't you have security?
Why are we fighting?
President should not just sit in Abuja or in Asokoro or wherever he lives. Sellers are following the local. They know them.
People cannot be there and be here at the same time.
The life of the citizens, community need to be protected.
It can't work out.
Bring the message of peace. Let there be proper devolution of power from the center. The center is too powerful.
He's trying to do the best, but people are hasty. Why are you hasting? Why are you hasting? Why are you hasting?
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
For more than news and information, visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, our Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space and news. And on the foreign scene, Somalia's government has banned celebrations of Christmas and New Year in the Muslim-majority countries, saying the festivities might attract Islamist attacks. Director General of the Religious Affairs Ministry, Sheikh Rakor, says security forces had been ordered to break up any such celebrations. He added that non-Muslim festivities might provoke the anger of the Shabab East Africa's Al-Qaeda branch, which is headquartered in Somalia. Somalia is at least the second Muslim-majority country to ban Christmas this year, after Brunei announced a similar prohibition. Somalia also follows the Islamic calendar that does not recognize January 1 as the beginning of the year. There are almost no Christians left living in Somalia, although a burned-out Italian-built Catholic cathedral remains a city landmark in the capital, Mogadishu. 2 Palestinians have been shot dead by Israeli police on Wednesday after a stabbing attack near Jerusalem's Old City. Israeli police said the 2 Palestinians attacked Israelis at Jaffa Gate, one of the main entrances to Jerusalem's walled Old City. 3 people were wounded and taken to hospital in serious condition. Tensions have boiled over into the unrest in recent months as Palestinians continue to protest against Israel's ongoing occupation and an increase in Israeli incursions into occupied East Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, the third holiest site for Muslims. Since October 1, at least 131 Palestinians have been killed in the violence, according to the health ministry. The Israeli branch of the International Red Cross says 18 Israelis, 1 U.S. citizen and 1 Iranian have been killed over the same period. Palestinians are frustrated by Israel's 48-year occupation and with peace talks going nowhere. Russia's air campaign in Syria has killed hundreds of civilians and caused massive destruction in residential areas. Amnesty International, a rights group, say the pattern of the attack show evidence of violations of international law. Russia has been engaged in a military campaign in Syria in support of embattled President Bashar al-Assad since September. Moscow says its operation is aimed at defeating terrorist targets there, but the United States claims the Russian airstrikes are targeting Syrian opposition forces rather than ISIS, which has taken control of a large part of the country. And now in the world of sport. And in sports, Super Eagles B team will play against Cote d'Ivoire and Angola to boost their readiness for the CAF African Nations Championship starting January 16 in Rwanda. Super Eagles media officer Toyin Bitoye says the warm-up matches will be played when the team resumes camping in South Africa. Meanwhile, Angola eliminated South Africa to qualify for the 2016 CHAN, and the Eagles are due to set up a training camp in Pretoria early next month before they land in Rwanda for the CHAN. Everton are in discussions with a United States-led consortium about a potential 200-meter takeover. The group, led by former owner of the San Diego Padres baseball team, John J. Morse, and fellow entrepreneur Charles Neal, have been in talks with Turf's owner, Bill Kenwright. In recent months, Morse and Neal have previously been interested in investing in Swansea. It might interest you to know that Turfs have declined to comment on the latest interest, but there have been several parties pondering a due to buy the Premier League club this year. And just before we go tonight, here is a quick reminder of our top stories. We told you earlier that the Nigerian Labour Congress squares up with Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission over increase in electricity tariff. And that more Nigerians react positively to the 2016 budget presentation by President Muhammad Buhari and expect holistic delivery of budget provisions. No respite for the leader of the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, as judge withdraws from hearing his case. On behalf of the entire news crew, thank you so very much for staying with us. My name is Omotayo Alo. Bye for now.